This week's Four Questions Journalist Spotlight is brought to you by Leff's Atlanta Media, Atlanta's best journalist database. Subscribe at leffsatlantamedia.com.
Welcome to another edition of our Four Questions Journalist Spotlight. You're laughing. You like my intro? You like that? Boom, boom. I need like drums or something, right? Woo-hoo! I got Ryan Dennis today. Woo! That's right.
Yeah.
I got Ryan, man. I had to pay a lot for this guy. I mean, most of my people are free, but Ryan's like, man, you got to pay me an appearance fee. I can do this for free. It's business. But that's okay. I second mortgage on the house. That's okay.
We had to stretch the dollar, Mitch.
It's okay. It's been a good year. I can afford the $50,000 for Ryan's, 30 minutes appearance fee. That's okay. All right. So we know Ryan from years back. He was at Channel 11. He's helped start the A scene covering entertainment news at Channel 11. But he is now kind of moved on to something really exciting and kind of cool and new and different. I'm going to let him talk about it. We're going to talk about this couple of things he's working on now, and then he's going to give us a little background about kind of his journey to get here. So the new project that's taking up a lot of your time, I'm going to make sure I get it right. It's called Revolt Black News. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So Revolt Black News, it is a part of the Revolt Network, which is owned by Sean P. Diddy Combs, and which for the past two seasons, Revolt Black News Weekly, it was a virtual show, but now Revolt has invested into Revolt News studios in Atlanta, in which we have a full content studio and news division right here in Atlanta. And I'm the news manager for it. So I get to oversee the news desk, which is a team of 3 researchers and 2 producers. And we have 2 EPs, and then we have a studio crew in which we, right now, our flagship series is Revolt Black News Weekly, which is hosted by former 11 Alive alumni Naima Abdullahi. And we also have Kennedy Rue, who many people know. She is a child star, and she is a friend of Entertainment Tonight and so many major outlets, but she also attended Spelman. So it's hosted by 2 Black women, in which our show centers around all things Black culture, politics, entertainment, and news, and social justice. And our task and our mission is to essentially present a myriad of Black voices and talk about uncomfortable subjects, but also inform people about things that you didn't know before. So it's definitely been a rewarding experience getting an outlet to talk directly to the Black audience. And definitely, since Atlanta is a cultural mecca, and with so much rich history and civil rights and culture here, it's a no-brainer for Revolt to bring its Black news here.
So based here, but is your audience more of a national audience, not just Atlanta?
Yes, it is. This is a cable news show that our show comes on weekly, but we also have a digital platform, Revolt.tv, and then we have a social media platform. And it's one of the more popular platforms tied to hip hop culture.
Okay, so I'm looking at the website on my side screen here. Global. We got like 12 screens here in the control room here. So we're sophisticated. All right, so Revolt.tv is the site. Where can people find it on cable? Is it on cable?
Yes, so it is a cable channel. So you have to check your local listings.
Check your local listings. Right.
Check your listings. Well, check your cable listings.
Yeah.
In order to see it, but people can also go to the Revolt app, in which you can see all the content that we do for Revolt Black News Weekly free here. And some of you may know some of our former programming, The Breakfast Club, which is hosted by Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, and DJ Envy, but also Drink Champs is one of our more popular shows, in which they have people like Kanye West and Big Sean and some of the bigger names, Alicia Keys, go on there and have candid conversations while taking a drink.
So you're weekly. So when does the show air? Is it?
Show Revolt Black News Weekly airs weekly every Thursday at 9:00 p.m. And we film the show throughout the week and getting it in shape for Thursday.
Okay. So as I tell folks, kind of understand, it's important to understand the production schedule, right? So you're not calling on on Wednesday or Thursday because that's when you're trying to get the show done, right? So
yes.
Friday, Monday, probably better to call and pitch stories to Ryan and say, hey, I got something good for you for next week's show.
I love a good Friday window because it, fortunately and unfortunately, I am working through the weekend to get our stories in good shape for Monday. So, that actually gives me a time to be like, okay, before this week starts, how can I prioritize the new items and see where I can engage with publicists and see what other opportunities are out there? Or, hey, I may be developing a segment and I need expert voices. So I would tap on somebody like a Mitch and say, hey, do you have anyone that has an expert in business? Or do you have anyone that's an expert in education or sports and things like that? And we get these people to come on. And so it's a hybrid of a magazine show, but also a talk show. So we present the stories, but then we have larger conversations in which we have sometimes a debate or a well-rounded discussion.
Yeah. Okay. So Revolt.tv online. Let's run through the social media. Where are you guys on? We're on Facebook.
We're everywhere.
All right. So is it all the same address?
So it's all Revolt TV.
Okay.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of the social channels. You'll be able to find it, and it's a very popular YouTube as well. So definitely dive in.
Do you guys do anything like Roku or any of those kind of over the top kind of things?
The Revolt app is available on Roku, and the good thing is that it has all the shows the full episodes of it. So you'll be able to find it on Roku and in your smart TV devices.
Okay, very good. Now, sure. Are you on air too, or are you the mastermind behind the scenes for this one?
Oh, so I am definitely behind the scenes for this, even though I would love to do more in front of the camera eventually. But for this particular platform, I am strictly behind the scenes, overseeing the news desk and some of the breaking news items for our show. Okay,
and you've got another project, not Revolt connected, but something else you've been working on. So let's make sure we talk about that too.
Man, thank you so much, Mitch. So I have a food and pop culture web series that I've been developing called Dishing with Dennis, in which, what I've really grown to love over the last 5+ years of living in Atlanta is the booming entertainment scene, the billions and billions of dollars that are being invested into making Georgia the Hollywood of the South, and learning about the culture of that. So, learning about where some of our favorite stars are going and where crews are eating, that's always been an interest of mine, even as a local journalist. So I decided to dedicate a platform to the flavors that make Georgia the Hollywood of the South through Dishing with Dennis. And I'll have more episodes of that coming out later this summer. And I'm excited to cook up some more episodes. But there are some pilot and web clips that are available right now. But there's definitely going to be more content coming out this summer.
Okay. So if someone wanted to find some of your existing content for that, what's the best way to go for that?
There's an Instagram called Dishing with Dennis, in which you'll find what I was up to at the time of the last production.
Okay. So is it dishing, D-I, just like it sounds, D-I-S-H-I?
Dishing.
So there's no G.
No G.
Dishing. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. That's okay. Because I had seen Addition, and I want to make sure I was looking at the right one. Okay.
And cool. I actually recorded a theme song for it, Mitch.
All right, let's hear it. Play it, sing it. Let's hear it.
I'll play a little bit of it. Let's see. But I was really inspired by the Fresh Prince, and making this, and I got to work with two Atlanta producers.
All right, so I think I know what my bumper music is going to be for this segment. I want you to send me the audio, and we're going to use that as a bumper music for this.
Okay, I'll sing
going in and out. All right, so tell me a little bit about kind of your journey, kind of where you worked before 11 and Revolt, and how you got to this place.
Yeah, so I started off my career in Philly, actually, at the Fox station there, in which I was a multimedia producer, and I segment produced this show called Good Day Philadelphia, in which I was there for over 7 years straight out of college. And I've always loved entertainment, pop culture, and I was looking for a way for me to connect to that. So it was either New York or LA. And then I was looking at TV and I forget what show, but I kept seeing this Georgia logo pop up at the end of the shows I was watching. I was like, well, what is that about? So I ended up looking at it. Like, wow, Georgia is actually, so many things are happening in Georgia. Oh, and it's a little bit more affordable for me to live.
And it's a little bit warmer than Philadelphia.
And warmer than Philadelphia. Yeah. And
not as many earthquakes, fires, and mudslides as California.
Exactly. So I applied for a job. It wasn't an entertainment job, but I applied for this job at 11 Alive, in which they were just launching this hybrid of a news desk and assignment desk called The Bridge.
Right.
It was one of their first hires for that, and I helped them launch that. But I still had this, so I was covering hard news stories and really getting a scope of Atlanta. But while I was doing that, I was still learning about the entertainment industry as well. So I attended red carpet, and I, covered different concerts and met different film directors, covered different film junkets, and eventually I started doing entertainment stories for 11alive.com, and eventually Chesley McNeil gave me my on-air debut at 11 Alive during Wake Up with Chesley, and that was a really cool experience.
At 4:30 in the morning?
At 4:30 in the morning, but I mean, for me to come from Philadelphia and to find myself on TV in Atlanta, that was a really big deal for me.
Yeah.
Eventually, I did more and more until, it was time for me to figure out what the next thing was. And I ended up getting some really cool TV placements. I was on Lifetime's Rap Game hosted by Jermaine Dupri. I found myself on an episode of Married to Medicine on Bravo. And this was all before 11 Alive had created any kind of entertainment franchise or anything like that. So I had left and went to USA Today for a little bit because I wanted to widen my reach to be part of entertainment. So I got to cover like events like the Oscars and the Met Gala and things like that. But that was like on the back end of the digital side.
Right.
Fast forward 7 to 8 months later, 11 Alive give me a call and say, hey, are you still interested in doing entertainment? And this is back in 2018, in which they were like, hey, we have this show that we're developing and we think that you will be a great fit for it. So they were calling it the A Scene, in which they said, hey, Ryan, you have all the skills that we're looking for, and you like to host, you like to produce, you like to write. You will be a great fit to work with Francesca, who I had met before I had left 11 Alive, and we had already had a natural chemistry. So, before you know it, I came back to 11 Alive, and I helped, push the machine that was the A Scene, in which it was a daily segment on Morning Rush ATL, and then it was a digital franchise in which we had a massive Facebook group and high performing videos on our YouTube channel, and really it really gave Atlanta the sense that we had a entertainment show here, because
right.
All the entertainment shows are in New York or LA, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, but stars like Tyler Perry, John Travolta, people that are A-list, Bradley Cooper, they started coming to the A Scene to talk about their projects whenever they were in town. So that was a huge win for me. So during the pandemic, that stopped, and I covered hard news for a little bit. But then shortly after, I joined Will Packer's show called Central Avenue, in which I was an associate producer for. I did that for about a year, and then back in September of 2021, last year. Time is flying.
What year was it? Where is it now? I don't know. I think it's 2024. I think it's 2024 now, right? All right. So, all right. So before I forget, so best way, if someone wants to get in contact with you for Revolt, email. What's the best way? What's the best way to kind of pitch a story?
Yeah, the best way to reach me is through email, rdennis@revolt.tv.
Okay. All right. I'll put that in the show notes, as they say. And you mentioned kind of that you wanted to do some cover kind of education, business, any other particular topics that you're kind of following right now?
So, of course, we are following anything hard that's happening with the inflation and for the crime spike, any kind of social justice issue that's impacting Americans. But, we try to zero in on the lens of the bigger picture of how these national stories and these national topics are impacting Black people directly,
right? And
under the lens of hip hop and culture, because it is run by Sean Diddy Combs,
right?
So we try to give it that flavor, and that is our mission.
Is he gonna do a little cameo? Is he behind you watching? He's off stage. He's off camera watching.
Some of the programming.
Yeah, all right. He'll jump in here. We'll edit him in later. So does so if someone had a guest or an expert or something on a topic that was relevant, does the guest have to be Black, or does that matter necessarily?
It doesn't necessarily. I mean, of course, we would like to.
It helps. So it helps. It helps, right? Yeah.
It's all about giving viewers the context that they need. So if they fit, and if they are relevant to the audience, I would like to consider them as an expert to at least set up a story.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we get into the more challenge. The hardest question I always ask on this is, all right, so what is something cool or fun about Ryan that people might not know? And it could be a hobby or a talent or things you collect or something. What's something cool about Ryan that people don't know?
That's a good question.
Did you not prepare to this question? This is the hard question. All right, we'll come back. We can come back to that.
No,
you got some? All right.
I feel like the cool thing about me is that I am a big goofball. I love to make people laugh and make people feel good about themselves. And I think that sometimes the exterior, people sometimes like, oh yeah, well this, you just never know. Big black ball guy, but I'm really a gentle giant, and I love entertaining people.
You ever do stand up?
No, I've never done stand up. I feel like
something to think about.
I feel like I'm funnier in person.
All right. Well, and stand up is in person, right?
Yeah, but I feel like it's like there's some people that I know that are stand up comedians, but I'm like, you're funnier in person before you hit the stage. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I thought about adding a little improv segment into these things, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it yet. I'm working on it.
I also love to sing. I love to sing. I used to sing with my former 11 Alive colleague, Jennifer Bellamy, all the time at our desk.
Do you have a certain genre?
Everything into a song. Breaking news, breaking out in song.
All right. Well, I'm going to call Jennifer and see if she's got some audio that she could share with me for this. All right. So last book you've read, and this is kind of lightning round, so you don't need to know short answer. So last book you've read or the last podcast you listened to?
I love my friend and former colleague at 11 Alive. He has a podcast called what is it? That's the Thing. I enjoy that. And then I also enjoy the Hollywood Reporter podcast.
All right. Favorite local restaurant?
It's on Ponce. what is it called? It's a Mexican spot, La Fonda.
Oh yeah, that's good. All right. Favorite guilty pleasure?
French fries.
All right. Where's your favorite place to get French fries?
Anywhere.
Are you a Wendy's or McDonald's fries guy?
See, it changes from time to time.
I like the Wendy's fries. They kind of enhance them.
The Wendy's fries have stepped it up, but I feel like you can't go wrong with the classic McDonald's fries.
All right. Favorite
fries too. See, everybody has good fries.
Yeah, sometimes I like the thick fries if they're kind of crispy. Not if they're like, I don't like smushy fries. Right? Gotta have a little crisp to them. A little salt,
not too much salt. A little salt.
Right. Okay. What's a local getaway place you like to go?
The Roswell River Walk.
Okay, that is nice. I do like that.
I really enjoy taking my dog there.
So the last question is, what's your favorite non-work hobby?
I love my non-work hobby. That is a good question. I mean, I love traveling to different places. I recently bought a house and I love decorating. So that's what I enjoy right now. Simpler times.
Yeah, a house is a project that never ends, right?
It never ends. And I every time I think, I'm like, okay, I need to take a break from this, and then I'll get inspired. I'm like, okay, there's still rooms to be finished.
Yeah, I've been trying to clean up my backyard, so I've got couple of spots where I'm trying to grow some grass. So it's right. I've got one section where the grass is coming in. I got another section where the grass is like not quite coming in yet. So I'm hoping this rain this week helps out a little bit. Is that weird satisfaction? It's like, oh look, there's a blade of grass coming up. Yay! Yeah, I've been successful at landscaping.
No, that's what I'm like learning. I'm like, okay, well, now I get it. Now I get like why people go to Lowe's on a weekend and they're like getting their stuff done for their house, because it's a really rewarding feeling.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we've been talking with Ryan Dennis, who is news manager for Revolt TV and has a cool podcast called Dishin' with Dennis. No G, Dishin'. I can just moving. We're moving. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate your time today. And as always, tune in every week, mostly, for another edition of our 4 Questions Journalist Spotlight. And if you're looking for our database of Atlanta media, go to leffsatlantamedia.com. And if you're a journalist looking for sources for stories, go to mitchesmediamatch.com or give me a call. I'm really not hard to find. Anybody who says I'm hard to find isn't really looking. All right. Thank you, Ryan. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.